Okay. I was doing this Deepak Chopra meditation yesterday, and he was far more eloquent than I am, but it was basically saying how nothing is stagnant and it's constantly changing, so we shouldn't compare anything. But when we do try to hold on to something, especially an old reality or an existence, if we hold on to anything, like we hold on to the breath, it leads us to suffocation. But if we let go, then it leads us to freedom. So with that idea in mind, we are going to start our practice. Lying on our back, our feet are going to be flat, hips distance apart. Welcome, Rebecca. We're going to start by bringing our arms across our shoulders. Kind of giving yourself a hug. Good. So our knees are going to be in, our toes are going to be facing inward, elbows are going to be up. And just really connecting with the mat here, taking note of the points of contact. And this idea of letting go any expectations, how things should be, and really experiencing them, how they come. And using our breath to really be in the present, be hyper aware. Maybe picking up the toes, placing them down, opening up the bottom of the feet, and maybe shifting your weight into the feet. I feel a nice opening into the low back. Having your elbows reach up to the ceiling, maybe even crossing them a little bit more deeply. Breathing into the sides of the ribs. Feeling your chest rise and fall. Taking note of your shoulders opening, keeping the back of your head nice and heavy. Jaw relaxed. Just changing the cross of the arms. Bring the opposite elbow on top and maybe even deepening the cross. Fingers nice and heavy, wrist heavy. Using that breath to experience not only freedom physically, but mentally as well. Exhale completely. Taking a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Bringing your arms out to the side in a T shape. Windshield wipering your knees side to side, opening the hips, the low back, broadening the chest, maybe looking away from the knees, feeling a nice opposition between your upper and lower body. And then we're going to roll onto our right side, stacking our left shoulder or left hand on top. And just the top arm is going to move outside away from your socket, coming into a T shape, and then closing the arms, keeping the head nice and heavy again. Arm away from the socket, looking out, and using the breath to come back together 2 more times. Pulling that arm away out of the socket and relaxing the mid-spine, closing back together. Last time, arm away. And coming back together. Very lazily, heavily, we're going to take it to the opposite side. Right arm is on top, or your opposite arm is on top. And then pulling the arm away from you. Opening up, taking a nice deep stretch, and having the arms come back together. Again, arm goes up and away. And coming back together. Again, arm up and away. Creating space. And back together. Last time, arm up and away. And back together. And we're going to come onto our back and bring your feet up to the ceiling, hips distance apart. Just taking a moment to roll out the feet and the ankles. Good. Snap, crackle, pop. And if they're going in one direction, going into the opposite direction. Thigh bones nice and heavy in the hips. Good. Then from here, we're actually going to take happy baby, grabbing the inside of our feet and just kind of rocking from side to side, letting the low back open up. Good. Try and keep the neck nice and heavy. And again, this is on our still very early in the class. Having a little bit of freedom, mobility, letting go, not holding on. And we're slowly going to bring our knees in, rock ourselves forward and back, come to a comfortable seated position. Good. Placing your hands onto your knees, dropping the chin down, taking just gentle head circles in one direction. Good. And then you can start to make it a little bit bigger, maybe bending at the waist. And then having this idea of not having any stops in the movement, really using the breath to connect from one place to another. And then we can take that in the opposite direction. Maybe isolating at the neck or at the head if your neck needs a little bit more love, if your shoulders need more love, or your low back, maybe bending at the waist, whatever you need. And just from here, we're going to go ahead, taking an eagle wrap, right arm underneath the left. You can actually change the cross of your legs, just to have a little bit of variation. Inhale, bringing the elbows up. And then exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, bringing the elbows up. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, elbows go up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up, and then go ahead, just changing the opposite direction of my left arm underneath. So bringing the elbows up. Exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, elbows up. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, elbows up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up, unfurling the arms. We're going to meet in child's pose. Toes are going to be together. Knees are going to be nice and wide. Letting your low back sink. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, walking those fingertips a little further away from you. It's okay if the hips come up just slightly. Try to open up your shoulders. And we're going to come up onto hands and knees, taking a few cat-cows, fingers spread nice and wide. So on the inhale, tucking the toes under, bringing the chin up. And then on the exhale, rounding up, pressing into the top of your feet. Again, inhale, toes go under. Exhale, rounding out. Again, inhale, toes go under. Exhale, rounding out. Last time, inhale, chin goes up. Exhale, rounding out. Taking some movement on your own, whether you're bending at the elbows or the hips go side to side. Whatever helps you let go and release any tension in the body. Taking a moment, opening up the wrist if that feels good for you, having your fingers facing your knees or coming onto the tops of the hand, one hand and then the other. Shifting your weight forward and back. Just to engage our core just slightly, we're going to tuck our toes underneath And then drop our tailbone down, coming into this cat position. Knees are gonna hover 1 inch off the mat for 5, 4, slight bend in the elbows, 3, 2, 1. Bringing the knees down, right arm goes up, and then we're gonna thread that arm through and extend the left arm forward, hips up to the ceiling, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, extending those left fingertips further away from you if you can, and letting the head, that temple, be nice and heavy into the mat. When you're ready, slowly coming up and out of it, unfurling, bringing that arm up to the ceiling. And on the exhale, placing it down, taking it to the opposite side. Inhale, left arm goes up. And exhale, threading it under. Extending that right arm forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Walking those fingertips further away from you. And then when you're ready, slowly coming up and out of it, bringing that arm up to the ceiling, placing the hand down. Before we go into downward facing dog, bringing the left foot back and just opening up the calf for just a moment. Good, opening up the bottom of the feet, having a little mobility in that big toe joint. And then bring it back underneath you, taking it to the opposite side. And bringing the knees back together, tucking the toes, coming into a gentle downward facing dog. Having this be super diagnostic. And letting your heels drip into the mat. Continuing to breathe here, letting go, exploring, fingers spread nice and wide. And we're gently going to walk our feet toward the front of our mat into a gentle forward fold. Staying here, grabbing either elbow, just kind of swaying from side to side, letting your low back open up. Have this ragdoll sensation. Holding on leads to suffocation. Letting go leads to freedom. Interlacing your fingers behind you, opening up the shoulders. And then letting go, having a slight bend in the knees. Head's the last thing to come up. Rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae for 4. Stacking up the spine, 3, 2, and 1. Shaking out the hands. Do this facing you. We're going to take a slow motion circle in each direction, just one time, so we don't get sick. And I want you to kind of visualize this a little bit like the Matrix. Hands are going to be by your sides, dropping the chin down. You're going to go about halfway. And then from there, I'm going to go to the right and then opening up very slowly, letting that head drop back. And then taking it all the way around, stacking the shoulders and going in the opposite direction. Nice and heavy. Opening up the shoulders. And we're going to do that actually one more time in each direction, even a little bit more slowly and mindfully and a little bit deeper. And reversing that. Good morning to your spine and to your neck and your shoulders. And coming back up to neutral, front of your mat, hands to heart center. From here, just bringing your arms up, pelvis goes forward, head goes back, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Taking a reverse swan dive, arms around the outside. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, taking the elbows nice and wide, bringing the pelvis forward. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Taking a reverse swan dive. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, taking elbows wide, slight arch. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One last time. Inhale, taking a reverse swan dive. Arms come up. Exhale, pelvis goes forward, elbows wide. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up to standing, taking a reverse swan dive, looking at the thumb, reaching up to the side, just opening up the side body, shoulders relaxed, and really feel the pelvis reach away from the elbows. Coming back up to neutral and taking it to the opposite side. Just being mindful of where your head is. Is it in line with your spine? Is it jutting forward? Coming back up one more time, shoulders relaxed. Hips go to the side, elbows go away from the hips. And neutral, last time, to the side. And neutral. Take a variation into diver's pose, into chair. So arms are gonna go by our sides, option to bring the heels up, and then on the inhale, coming up to a chair pose. A few more times, exhale, divers. Inhale, chair. Exhale, divers. Inhale, chair. One more time, exhale, divers. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold, shaking it out. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back and coming into a downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward into a high plank. And then on our exhale, going down knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, heeling the body forward. Low cobra, a variation of an upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing, not downward facing dog, child's pose. Option to come up onto the knees just for a moment. I'll show you what we're doing next. On the inhale, we're gonna come forward and we're simply just going to unfurl, and then you have the option to bring your toes up and then reaching back. Just trying to open up our spine as much as possible. So inhale, going through this cat shape, and then option to bring the toes up or keep the legs extended. Extend and push back. A few more times. So inhale, coming up, unfurl, and extending back. 1, 2 more times on your own. And then we will meet in a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, picking up the right leg, toes facing down, and then placing that foot down. Left leg lifts up, toes facing down, creating length. And exhale, downward facing dog. A few more times. Inhale, right leg up, toes facing down. Exhale, left leg up and down. Kick up that leg a little bit higher, creating space, option for the hips to start to open. And just taking this on your own, side to side, trying to create space in the body, letting go, length in the muscles and the ligaments, while being mindful of our alignment. Taking it one more time each side. And after you lift up the left leg, you're gonna come forward into a low lunge. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead, looking up at thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few sun salutations. If your shoulders hurt, make any adjustments that you need. Inhale, arms come up, looking back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward into a high plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, bringing the torso up. Exhale, downward facing dog, staying here for an inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg forward, low lunge. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, taking a reverse swan dive, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg goes back, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward into a high plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, bringing the chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here for an inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bringing the left leg forward, low lunge. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Picking up your toes, sliding your hands underneath. Knees could be super bent if needed, and really taking note of that contact, the ball of your big foot, kind of that fleshy part of your palm. Crown of the head, ideally facing the ground. Continuing to stay here, and maybe from swaying your torso from side to side, see if that helps open up your low back or your QL. Staying here for 3, 2, neck relaxed, letting go. 1, and release. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, low lunge. From here, we're actually just gonna untuck the toes, hooking the thumbs. Get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch here, interlacing your fingers behind your spine. Elbows nice and wide. Continuing to stay here for 3, elbows wider, 2, a little bit more of an arch, 1. And from here, placing your fingertips down, left arm goes down, bring the right arm up, and then we're gonna thread that arm through and then unfurl it up to the ceiling, taking that a few times. So exhale, threading under. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, threading under. Inhale, coming up. Last time, threading under. Inhale, coming up. You have the option to bend that back leg, making contact and spiraling the chest open. Continuing to stay here for 3, 2, 1, and releasing. From here, fingertips are gonna walk further in front of you. You can actually lower yourself down, kind of this variation of lizard's pose. Maybe walk those fingertips further away from you, the right fingertips. Just trying to create a little bit more length in the spine. And then if you really want an added challenge, think about pulling up that kneecap so it lifts up off the mat for the left leg. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming up, and I'm gently just gonna switch my legs out, bringing the left leg forward. Good, and take it to the opposite side. All right, so from here, we're in a low lunge, hooking the thumbs, taking a low crescent lunge, interlacing your fingers, elbows nice and wide, opposite leg is forward. And really driving that pelvis, trying to open up the front of that right hip. From here, we're gonna place both hands down, right hand's gonna stay down, left arm is gonna lift up, and then on the exhale, thread it under. Inhale, bringing that arm up. Exhale, under. Inhale, unfurling that arm up. Exhale, under. Again, inhale, arm up. Exhale, under. Inhale, bringing the arm up. And exhale, option to bend that back foot, making contact with that front foot, back foot, spiraling the chest open for 3. Exhale, 2, 1. And go ahead and release, coming into our variation of lizard's pose onto both elbows, and then you have the option to walk left fingertips further away from you. And if you really want an added challenge, lifting up that right kneecap so it lifts up off the mat, creating space underneath the shoulders as well as that right hip for 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming up, stepping back, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Option to take a flow, child's pose, whatever you need here. Coming up onto the toes for an inhale. Exhale, heels melt back down. Again, inhale, heels up, back down. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, bending your knees looking forward. Inhale, stepping or jumping to the front of your mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms around the outside, looking up at thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind you, opening up the chest. And then exhale, taking a forward fold, keeping your palms interlaced. Inhale, slowly coming up. Left leg is going to step back. We're going to come immediately into a revolve twist. My right hand is making contact with the back of my thigh. So I'm just going to reach here. My back heel is lifted. And just having a little bit of a twist in the upper spine. Here we're going to unfurl, coming into a warrior 2. Just opening up, reaching in opposite directions. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale deeper. Last time, inhale. And our exhale, we're going to cartwheel the hands down, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Or you go immediately into a 3-legged dog. So having the right leg go up here. Good, creating space, maybe bending that knee. Option to flip your dog if that feels good for you. Reaching up to the ceiling. From here, coming back into 3-legged dog, and we're gonna place the knee down, and then coming into gate pose. So I'm gonna bring my toes back on my right knee, my left leg is extended, and ta-da, a little bit of a magic trick, and we're gonna reach toward that extended left leg, and then reaching over to the side. Again, inhale using your core, up and over. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up and over. Last time. Exhale. From here, we're going to round forward and bring the pelvis down, coming into a side, kind of a side split, and then extending both arms forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Coming up onto your knee, taking your hands back toward the front, tucking the toes under, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming up onto the toes. Exhale, bending the knees. Inhale, up on the toes. Exhale. Last time, up on the toes. Bending your knees, looking forward. Stepping or jumping to the front of your mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up, arms around the outside. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take that series again. So inhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Not again, taking it to the opposite side. Bringing the chest up. And exhale, diving forward. And inhale, bringing that chest up. And exhale, go ahead, bringing the right leg back and coming into a twist. So my back heel is still lifted. Left hand is on the back of my thigh, bringing the right arm up. Continuing to spiral here for 3, 2, 1. And then opening up to a warrior 2. Setting your shoulders over your hips, reaching in opposite directions. Exhale. My left leg is forward, inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, stepping back, downward facing dog, or go immediately into a three-legged dog. Again, creating space in that hip, bending the knee. Option to flip your dog here. And we're gonna meet in a three-legged dog, extending that leg up, and then bringing the knee down onto the mat, and then bringing those toes back, coming into a gate pose. Right leg is extended. I'm on my left knee, reaching in opposite directions. From here, I'm gonna reach toward that extended leg, and then exhale away, core engaged. Inhale, coming up. Nice and seamless, like we practiced in the beginning. Exhale away. Inhale, up and over. Exhale away. One more time, inhale, up and over. Exhale away, taking your torso around the front, sliding the hips back, coming into a side split, arms stretched out in front of you. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly bringing yourself up, taking your arms back to the front through a low lunge, stepping back, downward facing dog. Gonna roll forward into a high plank, taking a flow. Taking that series one more time. So coming up onto the toes, bending the knees, looking forward, stepping or jumping to the front of your mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead, looking up with thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Interlacing your fingers behind you. Inhale, lifting the chest up. Trying to keep the heels of the palms together. And taking a forward fold. Inhale, coming on up. And then on your exhale, bringing the left leg back. Heel stays lifted. Reaching the right hand back. Left arm reaches up. Exhale. Deepening the bend in that front knee. Reaching up, inhale. Exhale, opening up to warrior two, making any adjustments. Shoulders stacked up over hips, core engaged. Here you're gonna cartwheel the hands down, and then coming into three-legged dog, right leg is gonna be lifted. Option to flip your dog here, reaching up. From a three-legged dog, coming back up. And then placing that knee down onto the mat, toes go back, coming into gate pose, standing onto the knee, left leg extended. Exhale, reaching to the side. And stacking the bones, opposite side. Just one more time. Reaching toward that extended leg. Exhale. And then taking your torso around the front, bringing the hips back. And taking a gentle stretch here for 3, 2, 1. Coming back to neutral, walking your hands up, going through that low lunge. Option to take a flow if you wish. Otherwise, we are going to meet at the front of the mat, taking the opposite side of our sequence. Hands to heart center. Interlacing your fingers behind you, opening up the chest. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming back up, lifting up the chest. And on the exhale, right leg is going to go back into a high lunge. Back heel is lifted. Left arm makes contact with the back of the thigh, reaching the right arm up. When you're ready, unfurling, coming into warrior two. Left leg is in front, reaching in opposite directions. Exhale. Left leg's bent. Cartwheel the hands down. And then coming into three-legged dog. Left leg is going to be lifted. Option to bend the knees, flip your dog, whatever you need here.
From a three-legged dog, extending the leg up and then bringing the knee down onto the mat. Toes go back, coming into gate pose, standing onto the left knee. Nice expansive feeling, stretching toward that extended leg and reaching up and over, opposite side. Even lift up that right leg. Want a little bit of an added challenge. Stretching up and then stretching away. Taking the torso around the front, flexing that right foot and taking a gentle half split with the child's pose. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming on up and coming back to neutral. Downward facing dog. We are done with that sequence. We are going to meet at the front of our mat. Taking a half lift. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to tell you what we're doing next, just so it's sometimes hard watching from a screen. So we are going to do an eagle pose into a half moon, into a standing split, into a pyramid. I will talk you through everything, but just so you have an idea of where we're going. We're going to go ahead, we're going to bring both arms up and shift our weight into our right leg. But before we do that, left arm is going to go underneath the right into an eagle wrap with our arms. And then picking up the left leg, wrapping once, twice, bringing the hips back. Trying to have the elbows go away from you, engaging space between your shoulder blades. From here, we're slowly going to come up and out of it and come into half moon pose. Option to use blocks, props, a couch, whatever you need. Flexing that foot, think about stacking your hips on top of one another. Exhale. Holding on leads to suffocation. Letting go leads to freedom. From here, we're going to place both hands down and we're going to come into a standing split. Option to wrap that right arm around the ankle, kicking that left leg up to the ceiling. Option to test your balance here, keeping the head nice and heavy, using the weight of the head to kick up that left leg. And then we're gently going to place that left leg down, coming into a pyramid pose, right leg in front, left leg behind. Hips are going to be square. Front knee could be bent if needed. Head nice and heavy. For 3, 2, 1. Option to place your right hand at the sacrum of your low back and do a gentle twist. I'm not going to do that. Doesn't feel good for me, but if it feels good for you, staying there for a breath or two. Before releasing, bending your front knee, looking forward. Exhale, forward fold, feet together, hips distance apart. Taking a reverse swan dive. And exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing both arms up. And then right arm goes underneath the left arm, and then shifting your weight into your left leg, picking up the right leg, coming into an eagle wrap. Elbows away from you, sinking those hips back. Taking note of the points of contact between the knees and the elbows, really squeezing through your midline here. As we have this squeezing sensation, I want you to release, let go of it, coming into half moon, kicking the right leg back. Weight is shifted onto your left leg. Hips are stacked. Right arm reaches up. From here, placing both hands down, kicking that right leg up to the ceiling. Option for that left hand to wrap around the ankle, using the weight of the head, kicking that right leg up, and try to have the roof of your mouth parallel with the floor. From here, coming into pyramid pose, lowering that right leg down, squaring off the hips. Toes are gonna go to the side, framing that foot, that left foot, bringing that left hip back. If it feels good for you, left hand could go to the sacrum and spiral the chest open. Doesn't feel good for me. I'm not gonna do it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bending the front knee, looking forward. Exhale, stepping back, downward facing dog. Option, one last final flow of class before we meet into half pigeon on the right. Inhale, bringing the right leg up. Exhale, taking half pigeon on the right. Giving yourself a moment, squaring off the hips, and bringing your elbows down onto the mat. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back to this mantra that nothing is ever stagnant. And if it is, it's usually not a good sign, but we're constantly in a state of flux, constantly changing. It's about cultivating that awareness in order to stay tuned in and adaptable. On days that my hips feel particularly tight, I'll visualize that my lungs are in my hips for half pigeon. And it's my hips that are breathing and have circulation in that area. It's not tight or stagnant. Walk your hands further away from you or elbows out to the side as you start to get more comfortable. For about another 15 seconds. Wherever you are in the breath, exhale completely. Taking a nice deep inhale. Holding it at the top, taking one more sip of air. And exhale, letting it all go. Inhale, slowly bringing the torso up, tucking the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Leveling out the pelvis. Seeing it how it feels different. And then we're going to take it to the opposite side. So on the inhale, bringing the left leg up. And then gently coming through into half pigeon on the left. Or opposite side. Make sure you're even. Good. Right leg is in line with the hip. Bringing the chest up. And exhale, forward fold. Use that imagery again with your lungs being in your hips, if that helps you. Sending oxygen, fresh nutrients to that area. And walking your elbows out to the side or out in front of you, allowing yourself to go deeper. Now 20 more seconds. Staying with it. Resisting the urge to come out of discomfort, to see what's on the other side. Wherever you are in the breath, exhale. Nice deep inhale. Holding it at the top, taking one more sip of air. And exhale, letting it all go. Slowly coming up, tucking the toes, coming into a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, taking note of the difference in your body. And rolling forward into a high plank. We're gonna lower ourselves all the way onto our stomach for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we're gonna take a shoulder stretch. So extending your right arm either directly out to the side in a T shape or a little bit above, and then bringing your left fingertips in front of your sternum and let this left knee open up to the ceiling. Feeling a nice stretch in the front of your right shoulder. And then from here, if you want to have a little bit of a quadricep stretch, you can make contact with that foot and then really think about the knees coming together. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Coming onto your stomach, taking it to the opposite side. So having the left leg either directly out in front of you or a few inches up, and then picking up that right leg. My right fingertips are in line with my sternum, in front of my chest, and then I'm really thinking about picking up my right knee to the ceiling. Opening up the front of my left shoulder, nice and heavy. Option to make contact with that foot and then bring that heel toward your bum and try to bring the knees together. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Releasing, coming onto your stomach, keeping your head exactly where it is, and then flipping onto your back for some neutralizers. So while we do that, feet are gonna be flat onto the mat, getting the L shape between your index finger and your thumb, and just pulling your femur bones, your thigh bones away from you, and you should feel a nice decompression in your low back. You kind of wiggle your hips from side to side. You may feel this, you may not. If you feel it, usually feels good. And then relaxing down, extending the left leg, right leg nice and long, bringing your left knee into your chest, and just taking that left leg across the body, reaching the opposite, reaching your hand away from you. Good. And go ahead, come back to neutral, both knees in, taking it to the opposite side. Shoulder your knee across the body. Will you demonstrate back bends in a bit on your stomach and then the diagonal? Sure. Thank you. Okay. And coming back onto your back, taking another happy baby, just because it feels good, but you have the option to kind of take that half split. extending one leg out or trying to extend one leg out, still while having freedom, the idea of letting go. And extending your legs out. We're going to take 2 back bends on our stomach. And I have a new recruit. I have my mom is going to demonstrate 2 back bends because I can't be on my stomach. So coming onto your stomach. Thanks, Mom. Good. And interlacing your fingers behind you. Good. And then bringing your legs together and then bringing your head up. Good. Coming into locust pose, Shalabhasana. Trying to keep the back of your neck nice and long. Nice. Good. Front of your chest up even higher for 3, 2, 1. And release down. And your arms could go by your sides, bringing one cheek onto the mat. Good. Arms could be by your sides. Good. Palms facing up. Yeah, and just kind of letting maybe your hips go from side to side. Having a nice release. Breathing into your low back. And then preparing for Dayurasana bow pose. So bending your knees, grabbing the outside of your feet. Yes, forehead goes down, and then on your inhale, bringing the chest up, kicking into your feet. Try to have your knees squeeze together and then shift your weight closer to your navel. Okay. Neck nice and long. Relaxing the shoulders down. Exhale, staying here for an inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale and release, bringing the opposite cheek to the mat, arms by your sides, palms facing up, and letting yourself relax here. All right, I will leave it up to you. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. I will leave it up to you. You have 1-2 minutes wrapping up any last postures that you need to finish off your practice. She's been doing yoga before I was born. So. Shoulder stand, head stand, any arm balances, anything that will make your practice seem complete. You take an early Shavasana. And feel free to set yourself up in a Shavasana that feels great for you. Take advantage of using any furniture or a wall. I'm going to use a wall today. I haven't done that in a while. Coming back to this idea that holding on to the breath, expectations does lead to suffocation. Letting go leads to freedom. Allow yourself to be present and transient. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Moving in any way that feels organic for you. Then come to a comfortable seated position, beginning of class. Bringing your hands to heart center. Thanking yourself for being here, for putting in the work. Minding yourself to not hold on, but to let go. Namaste. Yay.
And the quote I couldn't think of just now is that all experiences arise and subside. So have that take you through your day. Thank you guys. Well done.
Thanks, bye-bye.
I will see you all very soon.